So for the Ishkana deck, this idea is to try to play Ishkana Broodmother. So Ishkana Broodmother is a 3/5 reach that says other spiders you control get +1/+2. You can spend 2 mana, one of any color, and the other one can either be a black or a green source, to exile 2 cards from your graveyard to draft one of Ishkana's special cards. Most of Ishkana's cards are kind of mediocre spider cards for the most part, but there's a couple of really good options that you can get out of here. The Glowstone Recluse actually can be really useful, because it can also be used to turn something like Old Rutstein, sorry, not Old Rutstein, the Prosperous Innkeeper or our Blex into spiders. Won't work on Old Rutstein because he happens to be human. But this means that those cards will actually then get the passive benefit from Ishkana. The other things that we have in here that are useful to make note of, we do have the Hatchery Spider. Granted, this one is an expensive spell to grab, but can offer some strong synergies as well. The other really important card out of here is specifically, I always forget how far into it is. Okay, Spider Spawning. Unfortunately, you can't just run the card Spider Spawning, otherwise I'd have it in the deck. You can only get it out of Ishkana Broodmother's ability. And Spider Spawning is for 5 mana, you get to create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach for each card in your graveyard. So it doesn't have to be a creature card, it can be any land, instant, sorcery as well in your graveyard, it counts them. So 5 mana, you create a ton of these little spider tokens, and it also has flashback of 7 mana. And this means that not only can you play it once, but you can also potentially play it a second time. So if you run into a board wipe or sweeper of any type, you can still play it again and flood the board some more. So very powerful card. And that seems to be really the last card of real note. So it's really only 2 bombs out of all of them. We do have some Key of the Archives in here just because it's a strong ramping card and does give you a lot of really powerful abilities. Some of them just so busted that you don't even need to play your deck usually, because hey, who doesn't want to just win with Approach of the Second Sun? Personally, I don't, but it's there. We also are running copies of Lilith because Lilith creates spider tokens, which again works well with Ishkana. But we're also running Blex Vexing Pest, because not only is this a great card for helping us search for stuff, but also gives us the option to play it so that way other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders get +1/+1. Blex also has the useful function that if it dies, you gain 4 life. So it does give you a little extra sustain against the aggro matchups. The main set for how we're going to self-mill ourselves comes from the Vile Spawn Spider. For 2 mana, you get a 2/3 with reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, you mill a card. You can spend 4, tap it, sacrifice a spider. You get to create a 1/1 green insect creature token for each card in your graveyard. Creature card, specifically, in your graveyard. You can only activate as a sorcery. Because of the requirement of creature card, we do try to keep ourselves on a lot of creatures in our decks. But the thing is, even though it creates insect tokens, not spider tokens, it still floods the board with a lot of bodies. But being a 2/3 for 2 mana is also just good value. Lastly, for the self-mill strategy, we're actually using Death Bonnet Sprout. For 1 mana at the beginning of our upkeep, we get a mill card. Then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, we can transform the Death Bonnet Sprout. And if it transforms at the beginning of our upkeep, we may exile a creature card from a graveyard, so we can even target our opponent's graveyard with this. If a creature was exiled this way, you're going to put a +1/+1 counter on the Hulk. So not only do we get to potentially hit on our opponent's graveyard in case they have any recursive ability or flashback cards, but we can potentially grow our Hulk if we're targeting creatures out of their graveyard. So it ends up fitting really well into the deck. I've tried playing this deck style before and have modified it a little bit from the last time we played it. I was including some more removal spells in the form of Infernal Grasp, and we have now 2 copies of Meathook Massacre. Previously, we went really light on any type of removal in the deck, and we just went with trying to combo the graveyard and the Ishkana and Vile Spawn spiders, but we're just a little too susceptible to whatever our opponent was doing. So that's why I brought in a couple of removal options. Just that way we have a little bit of a better time fighting through certain matches. That's the general rundown of this deck, and we'll be playing that definitely in the best of one format. Alright. Let's go ahead and keep this. Nice thing about the Sprout is it can help fill our graveyard, which means that the Taxidermist can end up getting the bonuses to its stats quickly. Alright, seems that we're against the Life Gain deck. The question is, which version is it? Probably should have played this. I made a big mistake. I was thinking, oh yeah, I could play Infernal Grasp if I played that, and totally forgot this is the land that ends the battlefield tapped, unless I had another land in play. Alright, so apparently we're opponents in white and blue. Could be a potential party deck. They do exist, although not commonly played. I think we'll go ahead and let those exist. As much as I want to get them off the board, the main threat's really the Righteous Valkyrie. Alright, with how fast those triggers went, they might not have another creature in their hand, or they only have one target. We're looking to try to get one more creature into our graveyard for the Sprout to transform. Of course, the Key to the Archive. Don't have to be a control deck to run it because it just gives you so many busted spells. We'll block here. Opponent may have forgotten about the reach. Alright, we got the transform. Let's go for this on blue. We'll bring out Lol. Use it for the minus. And we'll pass turn. The reason why I'm passing turn instead of trying to attack it with the Hulk is I want to try to just still exile their creature from their graveyard. And that way we're not just trading against their Professor Symbology. Let's go for the draw first. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a Vile Spawn Spider on board. And let's go ahead and attack with the Hulk here and see if the opponent will block. We'll go for Snakeskin Veil. Alright. Managed to turn that into a positive for us. Discover the formula. Okay. Opponent's got some interesting card options in their deck. So far, we're only seeing like white-blue clerics from them, so it makes me wonder what all are they running. They're gonna punish us for not keeping the Snakeskin Veil. All right, out comes another Angel of Unity. Still mainly looking for a specific target for this. Fortunately, we are going to have that ripped from our hand, but we can play it for just the extra 2 on our next turn. With it being a 5/3 though, I think we're going to want to get rid of it anyways, so we'll Infernal Grasp it right now. Alright, they put the tax on the other Ishkana. We have enough mana that we can pay for it. How does this one work? Enter this battlefield, conjure a duplicate of a random creature card from your opponent's library. It perpetually gains many spam mana. Okay. Let's get rid of Spellbinder. Alright, drawing another Grasp is good. See, if we put Blex on board, it actually pumps all of our creatures that are spiders. Doesn't affect the Fungus Horror, unfortunately. Let's see. If we attack him, we can kill 2 of these. If they were to try to multi-block, but there's no reason for them to multi-block. They don't have enough power against it. So, worried about putting Ishkana back on board, as the opponent may have a sweeper. Let's see, if we bring Ishkana out, it actually does give it some good attacks. So we will attack like so. We're offering him a trade with one of our Menace Spiders, but we can use it to kill one of the Angels of Unity. Okay. See, we have a 2, a 4, a 3. But we only have mana for... We still need another black source. Alright, another Spellbinder from our opponent. We do have another Infernal Grasp, though. They're going to tax Blex, which is interesting. I thought they would have taxed the Awakening. What card to take out of their graveyard in case they have Recursion? At this point, I think it's probably get rid of the Professor Symbology. Alright. Get another mana that allows us to actually play Agadeem's Awakening at this point. We'll go for the draw. Let's go for the Infernal Grasp. Get rid of this Spellbinder. And we'll just keep on the aggressive plan with this Hulk. Fortunately, the opponent did steal a Prosperous Innkeeper from us. So they have more life-gaining potential, but I think I'll just use it as a jump blocker. Alright, Divide by 0 does hurt, as it resets the card. We'll bring it back to the board. This way the card can immediately flip back on our upkeep. We won't be able to exile something from their graveyard next upkeep because I'll have to go through the transform process, but we are looking at the fact that we're going to probably be... Okay, opponent's going to put Ishkana back in hand. That's fine. We still have blockers. Reduce to memory, okay. That allows them to permanently deal with the Ishkana. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's see. There's no way for us to get another card out of our hand. We actually have to get 2 cards out of hand. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of the hall right now. Get ourselves another black source. Oh, wait. Forgot that I only have the 1 swamp in deck. It's already been milled. Let's see. Spellbinder, then we'll probably go for the Ishkana once more, right? Okay. We'll just go ahead and activate this draw card. Alright, Snakes can deal big draw for us, because this will prevent them from answering our Ishkana. The draw on Lolth is also pretty big also. We just hold back. Our attacks aren't very good right now. Alright, key the archive for our opponent. What do they find? Whatever they get with this, they'll have to discard, reduce the memory if they want to keep it. Okay, so they choose to discard. Alright, they don't play anything, so we'll go ahead and activate Ishkana. It's a little risky if they did pull like a Doomblade and are waiting for us to tap out. Alright, so how this burn work again? When you cast this, reveal the top X cards of your library where X is the number of green creature cards in your graveyard. Bring put it onto the battlefield. Alright, we'll grab it. See, from their graveyard, we'll get rid of this Spellbinder that's been empowered. Alright, we can play this and still have 1 mana left open. We did find a green permanent. Just a green permanent. We'll go ahead and pass it back. They changed the icons here, so I was just getting a little confused by that. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 creatures in graveyard. No, 4. 6 creatures apparently in graveyard. Oh, sorry. Opponent's trying to do something. I should make sure to pass. Alright. So we got another transform. Let's see, which card do we want to take out of the graveyard now? Still want to hit creatures just to grow our Hulk. I think this is a good turn to attack in. Let's see, let's go ahead and we'll play our lull. We're going to attack in with these. We still haven't seen what the opponent grabbed with their key, so kind of curious. Opponent's blocking all the damage, sacrificing their entire board. If that's the case, I think we'll just use the draw and pass. Don't want to dedicate more to the board because they may have, yeah, a Day of Judgment. I was thinking they might have grabbed a sweeper. Thanks to the another hatchery spider, I guess. Just a huge body. Let's see. This is our 3rd black source, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do it for 6. We'll actually do it next turn. We can actually use the treasure that we get from Innkeeper to revive the hatchery as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll use Lolth for the ultimate. Get ourselves the emblem. And we'll just bring Blex to the board. I think we'll still bring out the spider, and we're just going to hold up Snakeskin Veil with the treasure in case we need to use it. Because, I mean, we don't have to do this for 7. But that's going to be kind of huge, because that's, I think, 5 creatures that we can add from our graveyard to the board. I say 5 because I don't think we have a 5 cost or a 6 cost in our graveyard. Our opponent gets a Righteous Valkyrie, and they mimic it. That's good for them. Oh wow, lots of mimics. Alright, well, nice thing about our deck is we do have a lot of reach. Alright, let's go ahead and do this for 7. So, let's see, which cards do we want? We want Ishkana, we want this. Death Bonnet, Spider, and he's our only 3-drop, so there we go. It's a huge boost to the board. Get ourselves some life. And we'll use this to create some tokens. We do give up the Lolth, but I think it's worthwhile. Alright, thanks to the spiders, we actually have a lot of cards in graveyard. So, we're going to actually pop them just to get the 10 tokens. What is the opponent planning here? Okay, so let's go ahead and activate. Thanks to Blex, all of these tokens that we're getting are going to be 2/2s. We're going to gain a ton of life off this. See, we got a treasure here from Rutstein. Time Warp, yes. We'll give it Hatchery Spider, because if the board gets blown up, it's not going to be very useful other than just being a large body. And we pass turn, we Alpha Strike next turn. That's a lot of life for our opponent, unfortunately. Really, another one? Opponent hit really lucky on that. And again, they are running 4 copies, and that's actually their first one. Alright. Double Righteous Valkyrie. That is painful. I guess we can just hope that they attack in. Alright, but is attacking. If they're not attacking with all of them, we can just take it. Because we have a Time Warp double attack here. They do have a ton of life. There's no getting around that. Is there a way for us to block and kill one of those? 7, 11, 15. We actually can't block and kill one of those. So we'll do that. We'll take the rest. Let's go ahead and activate Ishkana, find out what card we'll get out of it. Let's see. Doesn't matter which 2 cards we get rid of. It'd be great if we can get the card that allows us to get a token for each card in our graveyard. Because there'll be 1/2 reach creatures. Fortunately, we are not lucky enough to get that. Out of these options, I think Glowstone Recluse is our best. Okay. Get Righteous Valkyrie out of the game permanently. So, go for the Recluse. Put it on one of these. Go over. So it's now considered a spider instead of an insect. Let's see. We can go for the Time Warp. Let's go ahead and attack in. Hold this back, this. Rutstein, Spider, Blex, and Innkeeper. Get a sizable chunk of damage in. And we'll just activate Ishkana, try to see what other card we can discover. Don't really want to exile the creatures here. So we're going to pick around them. There we go, 2 lands. The reason why I don't want to exile the creatures is because of the Valspawn Spider. How it works. Unfortunately, again, we hit poorly on the Discover. We only dent the life total. We don't really do a whole lot. Now, granted, the little ultimate's not going to do much to them because we're swinging as wide as we are. When we activated, they didn't have all this life and they didn't have the Valkyries in play. Let's see. Let's go ahead and exile. I'm going to exile the Day of Judgment. That way, if they do play like another Key to the Archive, they can't just get it and sweep us. Let's go for a Discovery real quick. Because our best option is literally to find a spell out of the function here. Unfortunately, we're not getting it. Go for this because it's cheap to play. Oh wait, that's right. Ishkana requires a green or black source. Activate like so. Give up Infernal Grasp. Fortunately, by eating our graveyard, we're also making the spell we're looking for a bit weaker. Broodweaver is unfortunately our best one here. Alright, we're just gonna have to play the board and play defensively. Let's see. We can attack in again with all of these. We are going to lose some more, but we need to put a dent in that life total. I'm going to hold back the 4/4s because we can multi-block kill another Valkyrie possibly. They got the Faithful Absence, but we do have the Protection spell. We don't get the clue, but we don't lose our Ishkana. Alright, but it stays back. We are unfortunately getting dangerously close to decking out, so I think we're going to have to sacrifice our spider here. We'll get rid of Spellbinder, just that way the creature can grow. Alright. First, we're going to activate Broodmother. Get rid of these two. And we just need one specific type of card. Fortunately, we're battling the 3 of 15 odds here. Can we get it? There it is. Nope, that wasn't it. It wasn't in the list. Alright. This is our last pry for it. And then we'll be out of mana to be able to cast it within the same turn. Let's see, we got a Snakeskin's Veil. Try not to exile creatures here. And there we go, lol. Again, the reason why I'm trying not to exile creatures is because of the spider here. We're not going to get it this game. Alright. Get ourselves a whole bunch of tokens. It's a nice chunk of life that we're going to gain here. I think we're going to just go ahead and play out another spider to the board. We are on a defensive state because of all the Righteous Valkyries they have. It would be great if we could finally find our answers here. Specifically, Ishkana is being very stubborn about getting us one specific card. But that's what you have like an issue with when you're playing with these draft cards. The card we're looking for is this one right here. Let's go ahead and exile another creature. Let's do Ishkana's ability first. Alright, there's a lull. At this point, I don't think it matters what we're grabbing here. Alright, at least it gets us 2 bodies. Alright, key the archive. Regrowth allows us to get anything back from our graveyard, which is going to be more useful than the tutor. Fortunately, we've already given up most of our spells that we'd want to use it on. But using it on Infernal Grasp is solid. Alright, Pumpkin knows that we get the Infernal Grasp here. Let's see, if we kill a Valkyrie, we do shrink them all. I'm trying to think if it's better to kill the Valkyrie or one of the Mimics, and I think it's always better to kill the default. Or I should say the original. We are going to lose the deck out if we don't get our Rutstein killed. If they choose to take it, thanks to the ability here, they'll lose more life. I know it's not a huge amount of life that they're going to lose from that, but we only really have one more turn to try to find the spell. We're actually out of keys, so we can't rely on those. There it is. After all this time, it finally gives it to us. We only have 2 turns left. So, next turn is our last turn. Alright, we spider spawning. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a sweeper. Because of how much life our opponent has, we're going all in on this. See, we'll go this onto the top of the same one. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just played this for X of 0. Let's see, keep this, keep this. And we tack in. Hopefully this can shut off the Righteous Valkyries, but I don't think we're going to get that much damage through. Yeah, as I thought. We didn't get nearly enough damage through, but as I said, I should have played to Meathook Massacre X0 in case they did have a sweeper, because that would allow us to punish them on the sweep and attempt to still kill them. Alright, so we actually do go to our last card. We attack with everything. At this point, it's we kill them with this, or we kill them with the Meathook Massacre. Let's see what the opponent does. Alright, they do go for trying to kill off Ishkana. We're fine with that. Ishkana no longer will have a purpose after this combat. And yeah, we definitely get the lethal through. All these being 3/5s definitely put the hurt on. Yeah, this seems keepable. Little worried if we'll have some mana troubles with this Meathook Massacre, but seems like we have a nice start with double Spider, and drawing in the Sprout seems really good. Alright, we're against the Venture deck. I'll be honest, the Dungeon Venture... The Dungeon... Enter Dungeon Venturing deck actually seems really cool. Let's go ahead and try to commit a bit heavy to this board. I probably wanted to hold up Snakeskin Veil because of their -2/-2 enchantment they play, but I think they're going to try to put more creatures on board first. Alright, they go for the Infernal Grasp. So they have a little more control in their deck than just the enchantment. Fortunately, we did not want to mill all those lands. Alright, we'll use the Masked Vandal to get rid of the Cloister This allows us to save our Infernal Grasp against their non-creature sources. I'm sorry, against their just straight creature sources. Because outside of the -2/-2 enchantment, I don't know what else they run that's Mass Vandal can target. Actually, with the adjustments to this card, this actually makes it playable, because Dungeon Descent taps for mana only of colorless, and then it's pay 1, tap an untapped legendary creature you control, venture into a dungeon, and activate only a sorcery. If you don't know how bad this card was before, it was terrible. It always had to enter the battlefield tapped, still only tapped for colorless mana, and required you to spend 4 tap an untapped legendary creature you control to do the venture, and it's still only a sorcery. This was a terrible rare they printed. Like, this should have been an uncommon with how it was originally printed. Alright, I had my little rant. We'll move on to the combat here. Get our damage in. Alright, opponent tries the Vanishing Verse. We will protect it. Deathbloom Hulk, though, will allow us to exile their cards from their graveyard. Alright, another Vanishing Verse it is. Opponent's very heavy on their direct removal. I wonder if they're even bothering with the enchantment. Alright, opponent scoops it up.
Thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to join me while I stream, you can find me on Twitch in the link below. I hope to see you again in the next video and have a nice one.